Trade right now, right here at this level. Let's let the countdown run, but I just, that's why I'm late. I was putting in numbers. It could actually double top here and come on down. That's why it's a slight scalp right now, but we'll see. And then we'll be trading throughout today, so stay tuned for more, baby. Keep you updated as we get into this. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Crypto Lifer, baby. Let's go. Never seen a show like this in your life. I'm your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. I'm your favorite analyst, favorite analyst. running. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you. Bitcoin 71,800. Can it maintain? What's happening? Oh my gosh, I lost my trade immediately. I guess I'm still not out. Smaller trade though, not a big deal. That's why you keep it tight in these little ones. We're up thousands of dollars on the week. Only made a little boo-boo there. We're going to be all right. Looks like a double top. Let's break it down. Let's see what's happening on the bigger picture. I did not do a top-down analysis yet. I was looking for this to break out. They did it once. Got some bull dip. They did it twice. Double topped it. Reversed by the 7-minute 200 moving average. If you can see, we got rejected. Also, we lost the 1-minute 200 moving average twice there. Just something to think about. You know, if you're studying under my tutelage, then you understand exactly what that means. If not, then you will continue to learn. And we'll continue to give you the sauce. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. We're going to double up. Yeah, I got. What do we got today? We got Super Boost. We got a Super Boost shot today. I'm just going to have a couple different things in it. Usually some ashwagandha. You don't want too much ashwagandha. I was reading about that recently. Can take away your passion for life. Well, Crypto. That's what he was saying. He took it too much. And then he got depressed or something. Anyway, shout out to everybody here. Bitcoin pulling back. Is this a bigger idea? Kind of sad because I wanted to see this beautiful consolidation. I was waiting for the big boy trade. This was just a scalp here that I have cooking right now. But I was waiting for the big boy trade. And I was looking for this to nicely consolidate perfectly and just shoot us to the upside. But now you can see it's kind of like a lower high. It's kind of making like a double top. That's a nasty red candle right there. Let's break it down. Let's see what the bigger picture looks like. And then we'll whittle our way down into the smaller time frames and see if there's opportunity. Shout out to you if you're shorting right now. You're probably in the money. The short did look proper yesterday. Back to the 21-day moving average on the one hour. But I had won my trade. So I was like, you know what? Why go back into trade right now? I'm done for the day, you know. Oversold on the stochastics RSI. RSI looking okay. And the MACD turning somewhat okay, and we're getting our first green candle next to a red one on the monthly chart. This is the first, every single reversal starts like this. This one, every single time we've ever reversed from a bottom, it started with a green candle on a monthly next to a red one. Very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. Meaning, what does it mean? Sam, we can't pump without a green. Yes, we can't pump without a green candle next to a red one. It's pretty crazy. So I'm liking these areas to get into the monthly. To really, because I've traded the weekly. I've never traded the monthly. I've never really looked at the monthly and said, I'm going to go in at these levels and get out at that level, But to me, this looks like a viable trade. Now, it could go sideways for 2, 3, 6 months and then dump, and I could lose the trade after a year, which is crazy, but it's true. This is something that could be factual. That could happen. Is it going to happen for sure? No guarantees, but it's definitely a possibility. Right? So we'll look at that. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So weird when you, I don't know, I can't explain it. Anyway, thank you for all the beautiful people here on the live. We appreciate you. We thank you so much for being here at 1017. Remember, you don't want to come in late. A lot of people come in late recently. We usually have 1,400 people here. Today we got 780. And the thing is, you might just miss a trade right now, or something that we're going to watch right now. This is so important. My time is so valuable, and you can getting so much information in such a little period of time. I've been doing this for a long time, so you're going to get something. You're going to learn something. I'm telling you right now. Anyway, so this looks like something that I may take. I kind of want to take this trade and hold it for 6-7 months. It's something that, I've never done it. I've never been able to hold a monthly trade that long. So I should just set it up somewhere and forget about it on an exchange I don't even remember, and then come back to it. That's the only way for me. I feel like it's going to work. 2-week chart looks really nice. We're getting a bullish candle next to a red one. That's a bullish engulfing on the 2-week. I'll take it. Same thing here on the weekly. As long as we close the weekly like this is a bullish close. And it suggests we could be in a shoulder. Ahead in a right shoulder back to the upside. I'll draw it out for you just so you can get the pleasure of the visual. We get something like this back to the upside here for Bitcoin. And you can draw your Fibonacci from this week down here that peaked the low to this week to peak to high. And you did come to the 786 retracement with the bounce. I mean, it wouldn't be coincidental. That's why I've been saying if it is the bigger move and it is a 4-year cycle, you could come down to 38,479, 30 or 38K here, 755 or something. Is this 786 retracement on the weekly of the entire range? You see? And you say, well, Sam, how do you know when to pull the fib, when this range or that range? Honestly, you kind of get like used to it. I can't explain it. It's just something that you understand. You understand that nothing is 100% in trading, and you go with like the most obvious coincidental ideas. Like this bouncing off the 786 from here is pretty coincidental. It tells me there's a pretty good chance that a lot of people read that the same way. And you have to remember, it's not really about what's right. It's what the herd, it's what the people that are moving the market did. If they all pulled a fib and saw that 786 and went strong on an algo, then we're going to bounce off the 786. So you better actually see it, because if you don't and don't understand why we bounced, right? Someone said, oil just being pushed out right now, you'd think it would get a bit of a move. Shout out to Zab Life in the house. Shout out to Lakochi Coker. Shout out to Ricky Bobby, Vegas Claw, and all the beautiful people here. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. Let's get the energy up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go. You have one life to live. Let's get the energy flying at the speed of light here. Let's go. We had a beautiful pump yesterday. Is it sustainable? Or is it a dead cat bounce that's pulling people in just to suck them down? 5-day chart hit the 200 moving average. Nice rejection there. You'd expect that once you bounce back to it. Now the 3-day chart. So let's take a look at what's happening here. That was just a projection. The projection, most likely scenario, is the weekly makes a bear flag. I just want to put this out there for you. Like, this is the most likely scenario. Weekly makes a bear flag, continues lower. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure. I'm not saying the likely scenario is what's going to, you know what I mean? What if the unlikely beautiful reversal comes on? You do have kind of a bull div there in a way. We'll talk about that on the daily. But right now, I'm still, unless you can get really back above, I'd say 78,003, I'm pretty bearish. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean I'm not buying the bottom and going for it. I put all my money down here in Bitcoin in this wick. I bought Bitcoin between 60 and 63,000 as much as I could, because I buy whenever the fear. See, I don't do what I believe is going to happen. I have no idea. I do what I'm supposed to do. You get it? Don't you? I hope that people understand this. Traders that make it alive out of this game aren't the right guys. We're not the guys who called it perfectly. We're the guys who do the same thing consistently. I buy when the fear is below 10. It was at a 5. I had to buy more Bitcoin. Like, I had no choice. And I made a video about it on X saying, go through your couch cushions, do whatever you got to do, take an extra job. And again, not financial advice, but for me, man, it's like, these are the days to buy as much BTC as you can. It was just $126,000. Now it's only sitting beautifully, at a beautiful price, 60 to 68K, I mean, to me. And let it go to 38,000. That's only a 50% drawdown, basically, from where we're at. 35K is 50% from 70,000. I mean, it's just, 50% drawdowns to me for Bitcoin are basically free. That's like free Bitcoin to me. I've been through so much drawdown in my life. That's free Bitcoin. If you understand kind of the equation in my head. But anyway, 22 in the fear is now coming back. It was just at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Hey, you tell me. And we're back above 70,000. And these things move, they move slow, but then next thing you know, the opportunity is gone. I mean, you had 1, 2, 3, and the 4, even 5 weeks to get down below $70,000 Bitcoin. Now, are we going lower? We may. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm here to figure that out with you. So on the weekly right now, we just need this to close. It will close bullish engulfing, and we can go from there, right? And again, back to the 21. You pump away, you come back to the 21, right? It'll be kind of interesting, right? This would be a head and shoulder pattern. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like this and a break back to the down, and it kind of looks like it's interesting, like it could get back into the trend again. And technically, I mean, you still have this trend, right? So it's so beautiful when you think about it. Technical analysis, so special. Like, I made money this week using technical analysis. It's just fascinating. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a statement. Like, any one of us could say that, I made money this week using technical analysis. Like, using a back-tested math strategy based on, like, patterns and lines. To me, it's mind-boggling. Most people don't believe it. There's a lot of people, no matter how much you teach, they will never believe technical analysis is real. They'll think it's like you're getting lucky every time, or they just won't buy it. They just won't buy it. 3-day chart to me broke out of the symmetrical triangle. It had a measured move, the base of the butt. You know, the butt right there is the base. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't laugh. And it could go either way, right? It did choose to move to the upside. Is it a bull trap? Do we just come right back down and dump? I'll tell you, man, almost every single move has been a trap, bullish and bearishly recently, except for these bigger dumps. So it's like they make it very hard to believe a move is real, right? Because every time, that's the thing. This is the thing about bear markets, though. They fake a move, and then one day they don't. You know, or that not even the price action. Let's just say it's not a they. It's just, one day the price action looks like all the other fake moves, but that's the real move. So what do? Is I just trade. And if you swing trade, 2 to 3 day swing trades, 30 to, or like, let's say 15 to 30 hour swing trades, and you just take the piece, every big move, boom, we take the piece. Then we take the next piece. You know what I mean? We take this pump. It might sell here, it might go up a little more, right? Then you take this pump. Like, we identified the bottoms really good on this channel. Like, I found this, I found that. We got this pump. We saw it as an inverted head and shoulder. I saw that as a flag. We got this pump. You know what's interesting with this one is we saw the fractal from here. It's just crazy. We saw this, how it looked very similar. And then this had a fractal. See, this was a fractal of this. And that's how I was able to call that. If you remember, we did so many crazy, anyway, whatever. I could go through all the calls I've made in my life. It would take all day. 12 hour, 22, 8 hour. It'd take like a week, 10 weeks. Who knows how long it would take, I have put out some losses too, but not as many. So look, the 4 hour now, which is sad, is coming back to the 21 with a vengeance. You see what I'm saying? So my first trade of the day is a loser, but that's okay. Looking fresh. Thank you. Shout out to Staz. God bless you, man. Feeling better. My foot's just in better shape than it's ever been since the incident and since the surgery. I'm hanging in there. I'm getting better every day. I'm going to sleep early. I'm going to bed at like 11:30, waking up at 8, 12 to 8. First time in my life, man, in a long time. I'm getting long because I just know my body's healing. I can't stay up all night trading, staring at the, I usually stay up to 1, 2 in the morning. I'm looking at charts. I'm doing it. I've given myself some grace. I have to be honest to everybody here. I've been trading less, giving great calls. We nailed gold. We nailed Bitcoin. We nailed oil. So I've been making my money at the beginning of the week a lot too. My Wednesday, Thursday, I've been hitting my weekly quota. I've been happy. So this 21-day moving average looks like we're coming down to it. So it looks like we're going to go find our way down to that 21. Pretty, you know what I mean? Maybe we get a bounce, but it looks like it's going to kind of come pretty hard down to the 21. That's okay. It's not the worst thing in the world, but we're getting a bit of a dumpage here for Bitcoin. Now, here's the key: is previous support as resistance. You don't want to lose that. You lose that, you're coming down here to about 70,004. And what we're looking for now is this, something like this. You're looking to continue to dump, but get caught by the 21-day moving average. So continue a dump for whatever. Catch the 21 here. Get the bounce, then get the consolidation. And then we get the move. But, it's going to take a lot longer. Like it says, the move might not come now until Saturday. And lately, the weekends, Friday into Saturday night, we moved. The week before that, it was, I believe, both weekends, it was Sunday. Sunday night into Monday was the week before. The week before that, it was Sunday morning into Sunday night. Right? The last 3 weekends have had have had motion. So does that mean this weekend we'll have motion? I don't know, but it's setting up for consolidation. So this is what I'm looking for now. So what does I look for? The same thing on the 1. If I don't get it, I look for it on the 4. Look, I'm still in. Still in. And I lose on purpose because I have to show you guys, I don't want people to get too jealous. You know what I mean? If you don't lose sometimes, people will think you're just always winning, and then it just doesn't work. So when I win too much, I have to lose. I have to just set up a losing trade just to keep people from hating me. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I had to rip my Achilles because when I bought the Lambo, too many people hated on me, so then I had to pull my Achilles so nobody hated on me anymore, Anyway, so, it's funny that we talked to the trading group, and I said, this does look like a possible head and shoulder here. I said, I'm just looking at that here, and we did mention this, and it's acting it's doing the thing. It is doing the thing. Hey, we do slanted ones like this. It's a slanted one to the downside. It's got a measured move, wick to wick. Sorry, I didn't mean to extend that. I meant to grab this here. And that tells you you're coming right back to this, 69.5 area, too. So they're going to wreck all these late longs and just go after anybody that was late and decided to ape in this morning, felt like they missed out, and just going to shred you. Bookmap had liquidity on both sides this morning. Now you can see it's opening up further to the downside. Looking at 70,300 is the target. So, yeah, look, it ended up to shoulder, head, right shoulder, breaking the neckline to the downside. If you're in my trading group, I did go over that. Just, I'm not saying I nailed it. I'm not saying I gave a short. I didn't give any trade. I said I'm not in a trade. Right? If you looked in the trading group here, I said, we had a move yesterday, lower volume, where was it anyway? No trades right now. I'm sitting on capital waiting. Overtrading is how to lose the stack fast, Bang. I made one trade in front of you guys right as the show began. I was looking for this to bounce. Usually it does, right? It was a higher low. It was looking pretty good. We got the green next to the red. I front ran it. Actually, it closed, and I closed. Yeah, I bought the confirmation of the green close, and they just dumped it, I was looking for us to consolidate. Basically, and that's why I usually wait for consolidation to here. But I front ran the consolidation, and I paid for not being perfect. If you wait for this to get tighter, you have a lower risk entry. You see? Wow, pretty nasty dump to the downside here for Bitcoin. Let's take a look how you could have taken advantage of this dump. Well, when you lose the 200 moving average, again, though, it kind of made a double top here. So you could have made this an M pattern. And then taken the measured move of the M, or traded that right shoulder that we saw on the 1 hour, right? This shoulder had right shoulder here too. Look at it. See how the 1 minute is telegraphing a bear move, right? And that comes down. Then it double tops on the 200 moving average. I was looking for a safe, a nicer retrace there. When everything takes the dump with Bitcoin. This was ACH. I put it to the trading group yesterday. In the morning, we were looking at different things, and I said, man, this looks interesting. I said, it's tight. And when I took a look at it on the 15, it just, it had the 21 there above the 200 with moving averages looking pretty good. It was above the 200 on the 1 hour time frame, and it just looked like it was going to go to the measured move there at 7 cents or 007. And it did. It was a small move, 6.4%. But I just like to show you how the model really plays out, like on anything. A small asset for 6%, Bitcoin for 2%, you know what I mean? Tesla, you name it, it works. And look, now there's a double top there. See that? That's cat ears, slanted cat ears. What are cat ears? Cat ears are when you have two, it's a double top. But it usually resembles a cat's ears, you see? And you break down to somewhere right there. About this length, you'll break down there. There you go. Some blue with the hair. Great cut. Thank you. Appreciate that. Looking fresh. Thank you. Yeah, today I just did my hair a little differently too. You know what I mean? Set the camera up at a different angle. Made myself a little bigger. Hey, I get no respect over here. Hey, my Rodney Dangerfield, huh? Let me do my Rodney, huh? I get no respect over here. He was always sweating. I get no respect over here. My wife said, how come you told me take me no place I never been, huh? So I took her to the kitchen. Hey, I get no respect. I'm so ugly, I used to go to orgies just to eat the grapes. I used to go to Porgy's. Porgy's is a place where people eat meat, Porgy subs. It's a place near my house. It's called Porgy's, and you know what I mean? So I used to go to Porgy's and just eat the grape. Anyway, sorry. We got out of that one. Sorry. It's Rodney Dangerfield, man. He's funny, man. I can't say whatever's on my mind. Hey, Sammy, calm down. Something with the hair. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Crude oil looks to pop. And just going through here, we got echoes of Empire. Yeah. Thank you. We got Daniel Johnson and Stas with 2 super chats. Thank you so much for the super chats. You don't have to give what you did. May God bless you, and may God bless everybody in all parts of the world. I know there's good people everywhere. There's good people in Iran. There's good people in Israel. There's good people in Iraq. There's good people in Kazakhstan, Afghanistan, Brooklyn. You name the country, the place. There's a good person in it, man. They just happen to live there because of what it is, with good, believes in caring and believes in others. So, shout out to all the people that live in love, that want the best for everybody else, that want to live in a peaceful place, man. God bless you. As we go through these crazy times in our lives, right? All we can do is stay positive, everybody. All we can do is stay positive. So, Bitcoin. Can it get a bit of a bounce here off of previous supporter? I mean, there's a big level here of support. There's a big resistance here. And we're back above it. I'd like to see it kind of wick back there. Otherwise, it's coming lower. To 70,800, you can see, right? How will we know what's going to happen? Well, it's very basic and very simple once you understand price action. Everything does the exact same thing every single day. If we are bullish, somehow, some way, we're going to find ourselves with a bull div. This has some bull div here on the 30-second. And what we'll do is we're going to break back above the 200 moving average on the 30-second chart. So the first thing you want to do is you'll see where you bounced. You'll have a resistance. That was what's called the bearish retest, right? So the bearish retest was at 71.972K. We slumped down. This looks like it may go lower on the 30-second chart too. So you do what we did the other day when we were real bearish. Remember that day we just kept shorting the market? We just kept making descending triangles and saying it's either going to continue the descender or it's going to reverse. And we just kept seeing it just continue to dump, right? Or you're going to see a cup and handle, usually an inverted head and shoulder of some type. And yes, we're on the 30-second chart. Why? Because this is where the first thing will happen. The first bullish move, you'll get a pump here. It'll break above this resistance. Then you'll cross the 30-second 200. That'll be the first sign that something could happen. Then you'll cross the 1-minute 200. Then you'll cross the 3-minute 200. And the 15, the 15 is actually still above it, which is actually pretty bullish. You see? And the 1 hour is still above it too, way above it. So these are good signs. So what we want to do is, there's time frames that matter some days more than others, or just gives you more insight. Like today, the 15. Why is the 15 got more insight? Because, let me show you why. It might even be the 10. Or is it the 7? Or is it the 12? 12, yeah, 15. So let's take a look here. This could be where we start to get the bounce on that bigger idea on the 4-hour time frame, right? We want to see if the 15-minute can hold the 200 moving average now. It didn't hit it, but it got pretty dang close. We don't want to lose it. If you lose the 200 today on the 15, then you look for a bear flag and you take this puppy down, probably down to here, you see, to 68,268. But if we hold the 200 moving average on the 15, we turn this into bigger consolidation. And this is what I'm looking for, is bigger consolidation on the 15. That turns into consolidation on the 1 and the 4 hour for Bitcoin. It's going to be a very daring, bold high, a higher low high right now at 71,280 would have been the low, or the 171, I think. Would have been an epic dive. I did get pinched there. There you go. Yeah, nothing ventured, nothing gained. You got to lose sometimes. I mean, you got to lose a trade sometimes. If not just because, just for, Because if I do 10 straight, no one believes me. It starts getting you know what I mean? So I got to, I seriously do lose. No, someone would believe that I actually lose on purpose. They'd be like, I bet he does. Man, the guy's so dang good. I mean, look at him. Look how good he is. No. That's crazy. Just look at the just massive sell-off. It's just so interesting. So now you're looking for either a bear flag or a reversal. Again, the 1 minute will help you here. The 30-second as well. We got to get back above the 200. We got to make sure these don't make descending triangles. I feel like it's kind of breaking out already. Let's get rid of this for now. So this is how you figure out like where the daily, and then this is all going to be what's called the daily bottom. Now you look at the daily, and the daily has a red candle already. It's like, dang, but that's okay. The daily could be consolidating to the 200. That's even better. If you get a daily, the 21. If you get daily consolidation to the 21, that's probably the most boldest setup in your life. Like, to me, that is like, I would pray for this once a year, you know what I mean? Bang. You get this setup very rarely. It was almost there, but you could tell we were in a downtrend in a bear flag. Here it is right here technically, though. See, we're touching the 21 on the daily above the 200. That's my model, but like done so beautifully, right? You can see anytime you come to that 21 in a flag, there it is again. You touch the 21 above the 200. Fireworks. You get these straight push pumps to the upside. Same thing here. So you get above the 21 with the 200 with a huge pump. When you first come to that 21 is that entry. That's just a massive pump. Here's another one right here. And this is how I developed my strategy doing this on the 1 minute. And then I saw that it happened on the like, I guess I think I first started doing it on the 1 hour. Then I back tested it on the 15. Then I tested it on like the daily. And then I was like, man, this thing works on every single thing on every single time. Like, this thing always works. That can be confusing for people because then they don't know when to use it, how to use it. It's like all over them. It's all over them. Like, they can't think straight. You know what I mean? But what I did is just like really, to use this, you have to really slow down the mind. You have to spend a lot of time in your brain letting this seep in and like conceptualizing that it's real. Like, you have to do this. You can't just learn this. You have to do this. When doing it means you have to like it has to become a part of you. When you trade, trading becomes a part of you. Agreed? Like, it's not just, That's why this channel is for the people that really love their trading, like to the point of no return. Like, my wife knows that I'm going to be going over charts every single day of my life. It's crazy, right? Imagine living with me. Must be insane. My wife is like to live with a mad, insane chart analyzer. It's just crazy. Like, God bless my wife, man. Like, to put up with just the insanity of like our obsession with the charts. She's so good about it. I'm pretty good about balancing it too. Like, I like my office. When I leave my office, I want to be with my kids. My kids take up all my time. I get to spend so much time with my kids every day because of what I do for a living. We had our first kid and I saw people sending their kids to daycare and all this. And I said, what is going on? I said, the mom doesn't sit with the kids. Some random person takes care of the baby. I said, it doesn't make sense to me. You get one life. You get one time to basically bring a life into the world. And then that only time you have, you give it to somebody else. To me, that's illogical. You know what I mean? The way society ran didn't make sense to me. Like, everyone else just kept doing it. And I said, whoa. I always asked myself the hard questions. And so the real reason most of you are here with me right now, because I didn't want to go to work and not see my kids, man. I said, I'm not going to live a life. I said, this doesn't make sense. You're telling me 95% of people, I said, spend all their time going to work and then they pay for daycare? I said, so both parents go to work and then they pay for daycare where someone else raises their kid? I said, does anyone else think this is strange? I said, because I don't know if this doesn't make any sense to me. I said, who came up with this stuff? Who made this stuff up? And then I remember dropping my daughter off at this kindergarten. It was like next to the BQE every day. And I dropped my sweet little baby off. And some days she would cry a little bit. And I would hold her. And like, I remember her really not liking the food there. And we'd have to pack like a special lunch for her. It's just like, we're looking for a bounce here. Anyway, it crushed my heart every time I dropped her off, man. And I just said, I can't, my next two kids are getting homeschooled. They will never go to school like most people. They're going to learn so much every single day here at home. Like, We're going to keep them up to speed, up to par. And we're going to make the whole house a learning house all the time. And it is what it is. And I'm going to pay for, private tutors to come here. And they can learn in 2 hours what they'll learn in a week at school because they could have their own time to be focused on it. We can give them fun tasks. So that's my goal, man, is to homeschool my next 2 kids. And there's homeschool programs where they socialize with other homeschool kids, and we go on field trips, we hang out a couple times a week, so they get socialization with other kids. They don't have to be with kids 5 days a week. You know what I mean? Sitting there. Even my daughter now is bored some days at school. She's like, I just sit there. Like, what's the point of this thing? She already gets it, and she's 11 years old. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I don't know where you guys are at, but that's where I'm at when it comes to my kids. I also want to spend as much time with them as I can, man. Right? Yeah, I learned everything from YouTube. I learned YouTube. I learned anything I needed from YouTube. YouTube is basically the world's encyclopedia, an interactive encyclopedia waiting for you. It's designed to give us the way, the 9 to 5 trap, 5 days a week, 2 days off, 8 to 12 hour day, traffic, too tired to cook, McDonald's, bills, rinse, repeat. Amen. Yep. We do homeschool with my wife, Teddy Bear, and we're on a homeschool group, and we go to museums and places. See, exactly. He's loving it. See, the education is so corrupted. Schools are rigged nowadays. They feel the poison, but the books are not what they're used to. Nope. Anyway, that's where I'm at. I know it has nothing to do with this. We'll move on and get back into the chats. Nice little bounce here for the 7-minute for Bitcoin. Looks like they're going to be maybe now going after the late shorts. I want to see some nice consolidation here. I'm just looking for some up and down price action, baby. Give me some chop. I want a couple days of chop above 70K, specifically 71,280, the monthly support and resistance that I've been so obsessed about recently. Bookmap suggests that we do go lower today, though, so hold your hats. It says we go down to 70,000. You can see that's where the big old red is, 70,250. What is Bookmap? It's a heat map order book, as if you had infrared goggles and people were there, setting up, but they're their orders. The darker they are, the more orders there are, right? So if it's light red, if it's light blue, it's there. It's a big amount of money. But if it's dark red, it's the most. And you can see there's so many people here that will have to buy when their short orders get cooked. They'll get liquidated, right? So price action likes to go to the most liquidations. And so it's saying that a bunch of longs will get liquidated down there. Those are people's stop losses for the longs. And there's just, looks like a little too many people went a little too hard. And usually that produces a grab and go. So be careful down there. We could go lower. How would we go lower? Well, we'd stay below this 71.8 area, and we'd turn this into a bit of like a bear flag here on the 7-minute, 5-minute time frame. So just like we always say, and it's about the 21. So the 21 will come back to the 5. You'll make a flag, and this will continue to dump. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm telling you, this is how we will dump, most likely. We could just go straight down, too. If you look at the 1 minute, it looks... Yeah, you got some bold... I guess it's slight bull dip, but it's not amazing. To me, it's kind of descending, right? It's got that bear vibe. It's going to have to shoulder, head, right shoulder out of here. Tough day because the smaller time frames are, in the middle chop right now, and you can't get confirmation yet for your bigger time frames just yet. We may get something soon, though. And it's a Thursday. By 2 o'clock, the volume usually gets very low and gets very tight to trade. This is like a little bit of a flag here. Feels like it might want to take a move out. I don't think I'll scalp that, but I'll gander on it. Epic Bull Trap, the 3-day Death Cross is too much resistance. 60K before still fooling or spooling. Hey, you never know. Shout out to the Ghost Rider. God bless you, man. Thank you for your input. We love it. That's always big dumps the day after the ETF inflows. Yeah. And his name is Mr. Wong. Interesting. In my office at times with a laptop. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Thank you for being here, Crypto Billy. Blessing us with your time. Shout out to all the awesome people here on the live. We appreciate you. We love you on this beautiful Thursday, March 5th. March 5th, baby. Interesting. As we come upon the Ides of March, March 15th, right? The Ides of March, man. I'm stuck in this idea that we got 13 months in the year. The month should be 28 days. We're just off. I wonder why we're off, though, and what's the point of that? There's got to be a reason, you know? So, yeah, this is starting to look a little more bearish than bullish to me right now. I could be wrong. I'm just kind of laying it down. Almost see like this looks like an even, you know, that has a head and shoulder vibe to me. We did go over this morning. I did see it on the update. My leg's feeling way better today than it ever has. I was getting this sharp nerve pain that was so bad I was having to hold my pillow till like it would come in like regressions, like 4 or 5 times in a couple minutes, and I wouldn't know when it was going to stop and when it was going to end, and it would last like 5 to 6 seconds. It would feel like someone was stabbing me, and it was on the left side of my leg. It was insane. It was the worst pain I've ever had. 2 nights ago, it went on for like, I don't know, from like 3:30 to like 4 until my wife eventually gave me a pill, which I didn't really even want. What they did, they gave me pain. They did give me painkillers. They gave me 40 hydrocodones, and I took one at night every day when the pain got really bad. And there's 2 left, and I'm basically kind of done. And I don't take any painkillers throughout the day, no matter how much pain I'm in. I don't even really try to take ibuprofens. I just keep my leg up and I get through it. But sometimes the nights are tough. But the next couple of days I'm going to be completely off, and I'm going to go clean and see how I am and get through it all. I'm going to get myself good nights of sleep. I'm drinking my bone broth, which I actually just forgot about right now. My wife made me bone broth. With collagen, I have it every day. Yeah, so thank you for asking. But yeah, it's been some of the worst pain of my entire life because it happened. What had happened, let's say, 5 weeks ago now. And I still suffer. Like right now, I can feel the cut. And I look at the cut now. The cut's pretty nasty. I look at it, I see it. I'm like, man, it's a crazy cut, right? And it's pretty nasty. So anyway, yeah. It is what it is. This is it here with the stitches. It's nasty, man. If you really like, it's like jagged, and I can feel it, and it's near my heel. So like I feel this weird pain always near. Whenever I move my leg, I get this like sensation. You can see that my leg is beat up, and I haven't used my calf now in 5 weeks, so my leg's starting to like. You have nice legs. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. And how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 stitches, man. And you can see this is like still kind of bleeding. This one right, it looks like, oh my God, man. It's going to be a scar and a half. Anyway, it is what it is. Shout out to everybody here. That was my surgery that I had last Friday. I was in pain meds for 3 months after my motorcycle wreck. Yeah, I boiled the salmon and drank the soup. It's jelly when cold, but warming up on the stove and eat the protein and omega for your joints. Thank you, man. That's 3 times longer than mine was. I know, man, right? They wanted full open. They wanted to do a really good job, so they wanted, like, they didn't want, like, I wanted minimally. I'm like, it's minimally invasive, right? He's like, oh, no, we're going full. He's like, we want fully invasive. We want to, like, really, like, they were like reading a magazine with my skin, man. Oh, my God, gross. Nice little push here for Bitcoin to the 1 minute back to the upside. Really like to see us get back inside the target there and save the day. Let's look at the most bullish and the most bearish scenarios for Bitcoin. Look, we did get the move out of this flag. And we defied the descending triangle, right? So you set 2 traps. This is what I do when you're watching price action. You set up the bearish and the bullish trap. You can decide whether you want to take one or not. That would have been a nice scalp right there to the upside from 71,463. Just not my style. I'm a little more disciplined right now. 5 second did show the model. You can see it made a flag. It got above the 200. When it got above the 200, we got the pump. When it touched the 21 above the 200, we got a secondary pump. Now we got to head to that 30-second 200 moving average, and we got to cross it with vengeance and style. It does look like a shoulder ahead and a bit of a right shoulder. There's some reversal pattern lingering there. All right. Someone says, why do my comments keep getting deleted? Really? I don't know. I don't think so. I know to the doctor, I'll be walking to make it feel better faster than they just want to keep you needing them. That's what I'm thinking too, in a way. I think that all the time. Yeah, when New Year will be 1st April, will be logic to start a new cycle. Start of nature's new crops. Figures why it's called April's Fool's Day. Yeah, because that's the new year. And they want you to think, yeah, that's the beginning of the new year. I think you were spot on. Well, let's go over why it makes sense, right? Because we all know that octo is 8, right? That's why we have, right? Like, we know that octo means 8. It's in Latin. An octagon is 8-sided. So we know that October is the 8th month of the year. And we know that Nov is 9, right? And so we know that November is the 9th month of the year. And we know that deca, DEC, is 10 throughout history, right? So we know that December is the 10th month of the year. We know this for sure. Like, I mean, it's right there in front of you, man. 8, 9, 10. Like, they didn't even change the names. Like, so January is the 11th, February is the 12th, and March is the 13th month. And April somewhere, and it would be somewhere between March and April because it would be 28 days. So technically the new year would be like March, like it would be around March 21st, the spring equinox. That would be the new year. That would be the beginning of the year at the spring equinox. Somewhere March 21st to 22nd is the new year. And it feels like the new year, doesn't it? Anyway, something's going on with our time. We're off on time. And I'm going to stick to this idea because it makes perfect sense. There's 28 days, and it would be 364 days a year. We'd be completely, every single month would end on a Sunday. Every single month would begin on a Monday. You see what I'm saying? You'd be so spot on. Everything would be so fit. It would be nice and tight. Everything's off right now because the timing is off, right? Then would there be a 13th zodiac, and that means our signs aren't 100% correct either. What was the 13th sign? A lot of people knew what it was. It starts with a 0. I think it starts with an O. Who knows what the 13th sign is? Yeah. You keep seeing who's in April, May. Maybe the start of the real New Year's Day, yeah. Who's tight? They lying to yeah, exactly. Exactly. Remember, we are losing an hour Sunday morning, see? We're going to go, exactly. You need to hit this trend line now with a bounce back to the upside here to kind of save some face. Stay tight. Get above the 200 moving average there. Otherwise, this is going to slump over and cause more pain. The 30-second charts is more powerful than you realize. So is every chart has a piece of the pie. Every single time frame tells a story. All right. If I can borrow you already touch the book map, but if you have time, can you just explain book map again and how to use it? Yeah, it shows you, it's an API key showing me where people put their stop losses or their liquidation levels. So I'm able to see where there's tons of liquidations. So there's liquidations here at 70,000. So I can see where more people are trading. And you really want to trade against the herd, right? So it says that most orders on exchanges that retail is using, Binance Futures, Bybit, OKX, and BitGet, are down here. So it says most people are long. So if most people are long, you usually want to counter trade most people, right? So it's just telling you where the most orders are, right? So right now it's saying, hey, that's where all the orders are. There you go, okay? Some time frames have a lot of synergy with one other. They do, yeah. What are you drinking? Does someone know? And give me an answer. I am drinking bone broth mixed with collagen peptides. The Christian tribes in Nigeria use a 13th-month calendar. See? There you go. And the Muslims go by the moon. You know what I mean? Which I believe is the same. The moon cycle is a 28-day calendar, right? 28-day moon, like month. If we don't get a double bottom at 60,000 by the end of May, the bottom will be 40,000 in November. Anything could happen. I'm open-minded to that. That's like, I'm not going to say it exactly as you said it, and I'm actually more open-minded to believe I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no clue. You know what I mean? I have no idea. You know, I don't attempt to become a psychic. I did not, as intuitive as I am, and I thought I was very intuitive, and I thought I was kind of a psychic in my mind. I could feel things. I had no idea that I was going to hurt my Achilles tendon. There was no dream. There was no setup. There was no, like... So, you know, that hit me the other day. I said, man, as connected as I thought I am with my intuition and my feelings, I did start setting a few things up in my office that I probably wouldn't have been able to set up in advance. Almost like I was getting ready for something. So that maybe that was, you could say there was some intuition there. But man, I had no idea I was about to lose the ability to use my left leg. You told me that day, when you come home today, you're going to be on a 7-month recovery journey. It takes dang near a year to get your real, if you're lucky and you do everything right, and you get good PT and you listen and you do all the things you're supposed to, it could take a year. It will probably take a year to get all the mobility back. It'd probably 2 years to feel 100% comfortable. Let's be honest. You know, so I know what I'm in for. I know this isn't just a small little injury. This is a big injury for me. I'm gonna have to, you know. Now taking a day off has been one of the toughest things I've ever done recently with my leg. There's days I woke up with no sleep and pain. I said, I can't do this today. I can't look at the charts today. And I prayed to God. I said, please clear my mind. Please give me strength and you know, let me separate all of this from the moment. And let me just stay right here, right now. Right here, right now, I could do my show, right? And things got better. You know, I was in a cast for a while. Look, you see this? You see the head and shoulder here? See that? It's crazy, right? I'm not in a trade right now. I'm seeing too much chop. Look at this. This is the 32nd, and they're chopping you up. Imagine on another chart. You can only imagine, right? If you pray, you become prey. Interesting. I don't know what that means, but I don't listen to that. I don't listen to any negative comments like that. Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube, he predicted the March 2nd bounce for Bitcoin. That's interesting. What's his name? Give my husband the teaching and me. I'm watching for the positive energy that you bring. I'm sporting now. Eat good. Make a plan, follow it, and make progress. Shout out to TDA Jane Snow. We love you, Jane. Keep pushing. Keep having the positive messages. You sound like a winner. A winner is someone that just helps themselves, man. God helps those that helps themselves. Yeah. Does silver and gold just basically follow Bitcoin now? Basically. Risk on assets, right? Isn't that interesting? I don't want to delete that. I just want to delete this. But yeah, you can see how that head and shoulder just played out there. I saw it like right as it started. I'm not going to say, you know, but I saw it right as this red began. But yeah, I track smaller time frames. They give me information. Then you want to zoom out, see what you're looking, you know, and you want to kind of... This is tough, man. Every single day. It can wear away a mind that's not ready for it. And eventually you'll slip up and then they'll take your money. The one time you decide not to be truly disciplined, the one time you chuck in with no stop loss thinking you're a boss, they'll get you. They'll get you. You may win once, you may win twice, 3 times, and then you'll go so big because you think you're invincible, and that's when you'll lose the most. Or you'll lose just enough to get you to go back in again, and then you'll do that again and again until you got nothing left. The key is to go small ball so they can never get you. If you never trade too big, then they can never get you to think that you could, you number one, can't lose too big. You can't win too big. People think winning big is good. It is and it isn't, right? Because it gets you addicted to the big win now. There's an adrenaline to something. Now you got to chase that. It's all about a chase. You got to stay grounded. Go back into nature. Take that walk. Take that deep breath. Look at things and ask yourself, what am I truly here for? What am I accomplishing? What are my trades? What do I want to accomplish with my trades? I'd like to make more money so I can spend more time with my kids. To me, that was the main reason I started trading. I didn't know all the other things were going to happen the way they did. I didn't know I was going to get a YouTube channel. I didn't know there was supplemental ink. I had no idea, everybody. I didn't know. I did not know. All I did was follow my heart and do what I truly love to do. God helped this channel. God helped the brand. God helped it in some way. I tried so many other businesses in my life. I put just as much effort. They didn't work out. Business after business did not work out for me. If you know my story or if you're new here, I worked a night shift, just so you knew. Just so you know. I got out of college, started looking for work, got my first job about a year out of college. I was making little to no money. I couldn't believe it. It was like $475 a week. Barely getting by at $2,000 a month. It was just, you know what I mean? Health insurance and a little 401k or whatever, But I eventually got fired from that job, or laid off actually, in the '08 crisis. And then I spent 10 months on unemployment, about a year. During that time, I would meet Twister, Jadakiss, Stephon Marbury, and start my own behind the scenes video magazine called Industry Exclusive. And I met a bunch of celebrities and went around the city, and I eventually became good friends with Stephon Marbury. He started bringing me out a couple times a week for a couple months. And so I'm going out it's a true story. I'm going out with Stephon Marbury, and right after he retired from the NBA. Shoulder, head, and right shoulder there, folks. This is a nasty dump to the, oh my God. Oh my goodness, sorry. Oh my goodness, you saw that? That was just like a that was a black hole order right there. They just went and got somebody. That was a nasty liquidation right there. And you don't have to be in every trade. You don't have to short every short. You don't have to long every long. The key is to be patient. This looks like it's going to continue to dump. This 30-second is just absolutely imploding. Yeah, you look at here as the 5-minute did come to the 21-day moving average like we talked about. You dump, you come back to the 21. And usually you'll dump the length of the flag, right? Yeah, so there I am hanging out with Stephon Marbury. So crazy. So crazy. All a true story. This can all be verified. There's pictures of it on my old Facebook. I think that got deleted. So now you got to look for some type of bull div on the 5-minute time frame. Things have to kind of bounce back at one point. Or at least stall out. I'm going to delete everything and look at this fresh again. Yeah, so there I am hanging out with Stephon. He's taking us to clubs. We're hanging out on the afternoon. He's bringing me to P.F. Chang's. I met Pele, the famous soccer player, at P.F. Chang's the night I was out to dinner with Stephon. It was just crazy, man. It was at the same time, my friend was living in this giant home, which was the same house that they shot American Gangster in. Gail Whiting's old home, the Sherman. It just didn't. I can't. And there's videos of me outside the house, it's just nuts. And you can verify that is the house, right? I was watching this guy, he bought a car wash, seeing how much money the car wash made. So crazy. Pretty interesting. He bought it for $470. He put 80 grand into it with a loan that he took out. So this is this company that I started. Ooh. Funny, right? But there should be a video of me outside of this mansion. There I am right here when I'm super young, right? Look, there's me, there's Jade. I was with Jadakiss. There's me and Jadakiss hanging out. This is all true. Like, this is the night we hang out with Stephon Marbury. One of the nights. It was just crazy, man. It was crazy. There's the Twister, the day in the life of Twister. But this is the house they shot American Gangster in. Right here. Here I am. This is one of the first iPhones that ever came out. It's when we used to watch it the regular way, right? This is before YouTube was 16:9, man. So I was on YouTube 16 years ago. Like, look at my youngins. I'm like, this is the American Gangster house, right? Chilling with my man Patty. As you can see, this is the crib that they shot American Gangster in. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful estate. Chilling with my man Patty. Man, I used to be good looking, man. What happened, man? You know what I'm saying? What happened, man? Anyway, back to 70,000. Young Buck Sammy. So, you know, you could find me out there. I was out there. I've been out there. Damn, those were the days, bro. 16 years ago. I was 27 years old, man. The world was mine. The world's still mine, but dang. You know, and I'm an old man that loves hanging out with his kids. My perspectives have changed so much. I'm just a completely different man than I was back then. But that's what happens. Now I see young boys doing things, and I'm like, it's cool. I get it. He's young. But starting a family as soon as possible, I think, is the best look. It's the best joy. There's no joy better than watching your kids. We think that going to the club, hanging out, having mistresses, all that ain't. That's what they sold us. They sold us a lot through rap music. They really did. They brainwashed us, made us think that we wanted to be like, we all wanted to be, you know, players and pimps, and you know what I mean? Really messed up my generation because a lot of us didn't have kids till too late. And now, like, I know a lot of my friends that still don't have kids. They're 40 years old. Of a group of like 6, 7 guys that used to go out a lot and hang out in college, I think 4 of them that I know don't have kids. You know what I mean? That's rare back in the day. I don't think that would have been the case, you know. Lucky you made it out. Most celebs in Hollywood. No, there was a time where I knew I was going to get sucked in. And I would have these like, kind of like, not nightmares, but these like, it got real close. I have to be honest. I'll tell you guys some stories sometime when I meet you in person, but it was weird, man. Well, yeah, it ended up making the descending triangle, says it's going to go down, and you could see Bookmap is screaming for the low. Like, so Bookmap called the low of 70,005. You could see all the red there. Now the red's slowly disappearing. See, now there's some red above us, right? Still says we could clear 55K. And again, I don't want people to think we're definitely going to be out of here. Let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture for BTC. And this, look, it dumps everything. This coin has nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's dumping because Bitcoin's dumping. So it was a good day to short the market. I was just looking for some little old consolidation, like I does. Wow, the 15-minute now really confronting the 200 moving average. And what looks to me is like a kind of a supportive resistance area too. You can see this could just wick and turn into an inverted. That's what, you know, the bull in me. The delirious hopium copium bull is looking for this bounce. What's is you don't have to see, everyone thinks they have to buy the exact bounce. I mean, it is the greatest place to buy if you get in there. But this is way low risk because this tells you you're making a higher low, you're consolidating, and there's a bigger idea that you're gonna collaborate or corroborate with the idea that we're going parabolic, right? You want to see that inside of that idea though. Very important. You lose this 200, you come back down to test 60, 69, and you lose 70K. It kind of, you know, that 7 turns into a 6, and we lose a little steam, right? There's something about that 7 being a 6, that 6 being a 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. But that 6 being a 7 right now, right? I still don't know what it means. I never looked it up. I don't care. I don't want to know. Sorry if I offended anybody when I said I don't know. 6, 7. Everyone says nobody knows. I asked one guy, I was like, what does that mean? He goes, nobody knows. Everyone just says it. No one knows what I mean, you know. The kids love it, though. They think it's hilarious. If your kid's under, like, 12 years old, 6, 7. I see all your comments, John. I think maybe it's you that doesn't see them. I see your comments, bro. Everything's coming in clean. Yeah, see, you wrote test. I see the test. You wrote yo. Yeah. This low we're currently in count as a 4-hour 21 MA tap and go. It could. Exactly. We got to come back to the 4-hour 21-day moving average. I like what this man is saying. That's kind of what we went over on the update today. That's why I'm still just kind of like, yeah, just a nice little pump. Kind of seems more like that, but, you know, a nice little pump. We come back to that 21. And then we could make this beautiful ascending triangle, right? The longer the consolidation, the more likely you break out of it. The cleaner the consolidation, the better, right? Like, this was nice. What we got here, this was special. And you get the 21 above your trade is to get in here and to sell there. Really, that's it. You don't really, and you could short right now. That was a good short right there. But in my opinion, it's like that was the best trade. You get in right there, you get out right there. I mean, that's my strategy and my signal. And you go from there. So yeah, we just want to see a bounce. Preferably here too. Resistance right there, you know, 70,800. The cool thing is, if it continues to dump, I feel like it has to consolidate. So I feel like we got like 4 to 5 hours of at least a continuation in a dump or a pump back up. Let's see as we come and test 70,800, or if we keep 71 tight here. And how will you know? Well, the 15-minute will close a green candle next to a red one here. This is epic business too, buying the 15-minute bounce off the 200. We've done this like 4 or 5 times now on the channel. I did it 2 or 3 days ago, if you remember correctly. So we're going to switch to the 15. And what we're going to see is, you know, very high risk on a Thursday. But this could be the play here with a stop right there and the bounce back up to one of these key levels. What I like about this stuff is it has very high risk to reward ratio when you're using the 200 moving average. See, I started trading it one day. It hit me. I was like, oh my God. Like I started finding 10 to 1, 6 to 1, 7 to 1s. And I said, man, everyone should be using these. This gives you a higher risk to reward. And I was like, shh, don't tell everybody, you know. So you wait for this candle to turn green, or you front run it when it's like halfway green. Front running it because it can flip back red and just stop you out. Green gives you higher potential of winning. See the red right here? That's going to be your stuff. Yeah, if you bring this up and down, it's going to change that level. 70,728. I'm not getting into the trade. I want to make that very clear. I don't buy real estate until I look at it. I don't buy trades or make a trade until I look at the trade. Till the trade starts to make sense. And look, you could risk $100 for $1,000 there. Now, again, you could lose this. Say you lost this 7 times. You'd lose 700 times 135, which is 910. It's actually 945, right? Right? I think so. 700 times 935 is 945. Wait, how did I get 9? Yeah. Oh, 7. No. What was I saying? Yeah, I was like, what the hell? What math am I doing here? Yeah, I was saying if you lose 35%, what is the math? Like, oh yeah, yeah. So you lose it 7 times, right? And you lose. I lost like the math that I was doing. I'm like, wait, no, because there was a reason why I was doing what I was getting with 245. Yeah, 700 times 35, 350. Like, say you were to lose 350 7 times. Yeah, it's $2,450, right? Is that what I'm getting at? There we go. Yeah, it's 350 times 7. 2,450, right? Yeah, exactly. Okay, sorry. The whole point, my mind was doing 7 times 3 is 35, and then with the 10. Where was I getting the 10, though? Anyway, who cares? Once this bet, so the point is you do this 10 times and say you lose 245, but if you lose it, if you win 3 times, you win $3,000. My whole point is, you know what I mean? And again, you could technically on a 10 to 1, you could lose 8 of them and only win 2. You could even win, you could lose 9 and win 1 and still be up on the trade, or be like, probably be at break even at that point. With some fees, you'd probably be down. But if you trade like I do and you're very, 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 very specific about your entries, like right now, we don't just enter this. You know, this would be crazy though. To enter it right here would be so amazing. I dream of these trades. Like these are the trades I dream of. Risking $60 to make $1,000. And entering right now, so epic. Like imagine like pulling that off right there. It would be so insane. It makes me want to touch the button, but it's almost like a guaranteed $60 loss, right? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, the odds are you're going to lose. Now it's $80. See, now you got to pay a little more. Now it's $90. See? That's legendary. You buy right there and win that trade. It's legendary. It's legendary. So what I always look for these legendary positions, these areas that give me a high probable bounce. I've traded the 15-minute bounce here before. Now to do it red before you even get a green, to front run the green, 9 minutes and 44 seconds before the close, it's a bit insane, right? It's like giving away $100, in my opinion. You look to see if there's a flag on the 1. Man, 1 looks kind of sketchy again. Almost looks like it's continuing this descending triangle vibe. Five's away for the 21, but not, you know. Oh, it would be so cool to hit that. Bid tensions the next, yeah. Call me insane, but I'm an 9X with a stop beneath the 4 and an MA. Let's go, Biddy. I like it. I like it. Numbers don't lie. You said, what if it hunts the stop loss and goes up? Well, that's what we're looking for. I want to kind of see if they hunt. They kind of hunted twice already there. I'd like to get 66 again. That was amazing. 87 for 1,000. The better it gets, the higher the risk. Look, it bounced back to 100 already. All right, I'm going to take it. I took it. I'm likely going to get stopped out immediately. I don't usually do this exact trade. I usually wait. It's very high risk. You know, we're not above the 1 minute 200. Like it's very high risk, this trade. But you know what? It's interesting. We may, you know, this could have been the bottom call of the day. You see what I'm saying? It might be the epic, you know, I mean, that's a fast $50. I'll tell you that right now. That's like the fastest $50 I think I've ever made. It's been under a minute. I made $50, right? We didn't make it yet. We didn't take the trade off the table. So let's not like, be so cool if we get the pump here. There's an order block around 70 to 70,000. 1 bid attempting to double bottom. I lost the math too for a second. Call me insane. Huh? There was a reason. I was doing 7 times 35 is 210. I guess it was 315. Because I knew I was doing 7 times 35. I knew that. And I knew 7 times 3 is 210. And then I knew 7 times 5 is 35. And I knew 210 plus 35 is 245. And I did the math really fast. So I knew I was on a 45, right? And I was like, well. So now we have 6 minutes and 44 seconds to find out if this could close. I've seen us bounce off the 200 many times at the 15 minute. We've been dumping for hours now. You'd think there would be a little bit of a relief rally. somewhat of a falling wedge. We have support of resistance. We're kind of buying support. Very high risk. Do not do what you see people do on YouTube, please. For entertainment purposes only, right? Like, this would easily come and stop me out in 2 seconds. We're hanging on to $7 now. This is more for experimental purposes only. Like, this is just for like, wow, like, this would be cool to get into these 10 to 1s. I've only hit a 10 to 1. I've done this type of trade, I think, maybe 5 times in my life. Like, it's very rare. Because I know it's high risk. I don't want to do this all the time. Like, I know there's better trades to make with higher probability than this. So to me, this is on the lower, this is in the higher risk spectrum of my trades. So I don't do it that much. Every time that flips green, though, I'm liking what I see. Stay green, baby. Stay green. And if this is not entertainment, what is, man? I love your content, Sam. Just know that I love you. Shout out to Me Goods. Hope the aggressive entry doesn't burn me. Definitely high risk. Gotta mitigate. Use money you can afford to lose. Yeah, take profit with $100 now. And bet them 3. Hey, you never know. Usually you can 7 times but win once because the stop loss and the take profit ratios. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It says lifer in the gains as always. Let's see. Does Sammy win the trade? And we'll run the poll, man. Let's see if you guys are psychics or not. And find out what's happening here. Does lifer win the trade? Yes or no? We'll start a poll. We'll see what happens here. I mean, it's looking crispy. It's looking crispy like Krispy Kreme. The key, too, is if you had a $1,000 portfolio and you only took 10% to double it, you'd be a legend. You'd be a complete legend, right? And we're going to get this stop loss to break even as soon as humanly possible. The second this candle gets above 71.5, 71.6, I'd be moving this stop loss to break even as soon as I can. As soon as I can on this beautiful Thursday. I was in this trade, then I would have stopped out by now. They were afraid of lifer, I think. You're funny, man. Nobody's afraid of me, man. Come on, man. You got the energy of the lifers behind you. Of course you will. Hey, you never know. Why Friday before Friday up? I don't know, man. I don't look at it like that. I just take it every day at a time. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Take profit 72.8. Pay the lifers, baby. We don't know, man. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tough. Doesn't look amazing on the 15. Looks kind of bearish there. Looks kind of like a bear flag, no? That looks like they're going to dump on me, man. That's what's good about, putting what you can afford to lose. Like, you trade scot-free, right? Like $100. I'll be all right. Crypto Billy, how did you become a helper of the chat? He's just an amazing guy. He goes to all the crypto events, man. And I met him in person 2 days before my dad died. If you want to know the story, 2 days before my dad died, I met Crypto Billy. He doesn't drink, I don't drink. We were at this kind of like crypto event that got a little funny towards the end. At like 12 o'clock, it was starting to get a little like people were getting real drunk and a little crazy, a little risque. And I looked at him and we made eye contact and I kind of I didn't feel right being there. Like I didn't want to be there anymore. And he said years and years of doing the right thing. It's so cool. And I looked at him and he looked at me and he goes, this is no place for us to be. We're family, man, and we don't drink. And I said, 100%, man, let's get out of here. And we left. I played some pool for a couple hours, and I knew, man, we made it. Just that one, the way he looked at me that night, man, I was like, this is a good guy. Like, my dad would die 2 days later, unexpectedly. My dad would leave me a voice message sounding pretty good 2 days before he died. And Crypto Billy would send flowers to my funeral, even though he only knew me, he knew of me maybe for months, but he met me in person and only knew me a couple days. And, his ability to love, his ability to see that he could help in some way, even if it was just a small, a bouquet of flowers, man. was really, really, really touching. And I don't mean to make it, and I'm not going to cry today. I've been pretty good about not crying about my parents recently. Right here is my mom and dad on the front of my, and we never took a day off, even though my mom was in a coma for 5 days, even though my dad died unexpectedly. Like, I don't know how I streamed the day after my dad died, but I did. Yeah, it was in May. I'll always remember it. I went on Crypto Wendy's show the day of my dad's funeral. He died Monday. The funeral was Friday. I don't know why it takes so many days, but it, you know. And I remember being with my mom as they told us, like, how do we ought to go for a meeting about the funeral. I remember being in the room with my mom when we were going over, like, how to pay for the funeral and, like, how much it was going to cost. And I remember her just sitting there, like, she just couldn't believe it. Like, she was like she had to have an administrative meeting about numbers. And I remember just being completely numb. Sorry. Let's break out of that. Let's have some fun. Shout out to everybody here. Let's go, baby. But, you know, life isn't always fun. Life is real, man. And that's what this show's about. It's about realness and how real it can be, no matter what happens to you in your life, right? So, and if you build a business like me where you're the front runner, you're the show, you're the mover, you're the CEO, right? You're the talent, you're the founder. Well, it's on you to keep it moving. And, you know, once my parents passed, I knew if they saw me cry in a hole, like, what if, you know what I mean? They're watching me and I'm sitting there so depressed that I give up on my own dreams. And I get into drugs, or I get back to drinking alcohol. I start hanging out with the wrong people again, feeling bad for myself. And I've been down that road before, folks. And I said, I can't do it this time. And so, you know, this whole entire time that the show continued, my parents passing, this entire time has been just a true metamorphosis for me. I've turned into a man, from a boy to a man. Like, I've learned that there's no one but me and God to really, really be behind me. I got friends, don't get me wrong. I got loyal people in my life that I love. But, like, I'm there from, it's me, my kids, my family, it's God, like, and my trading group. Like, I kept my life real simple now. Who's in my life is there for a reason. You either bring positivity and light to my life, or I don't have you in my life. If you troll me, if you say negative things, if you call me name, like, I just remove you from the chat. I remove you from my life. I've worked too hard. I've been through too much to be around anybody that doesn't give me love. You know what I mean? And my mom sent me love all day. My mom and dad were both very loving people. I know what it's like to be loved. See, a lot of people don't know what it's like to be loved, so they're around people that don't love them. I know what it's like to be loved. I know what love is. So I'll remove myself from people that don't love me immediately. Look at this beautiful ascending triangle, man. This is crazy if we end up winning this puppy. Even just getting $100 in this trade is crazy right now. And you guys may be right. It's 78% of the lifers say that I win the trade. 22% say I don't. Let's see what happens here. See what happens to the naysayers as we're up $100. Look at that, dude. Calling the clean bounce off the 200 moving average. You got to really believe in the 200 to do something like that. Like, you got to have so much faith in that 200 moving average. And see, the definitions between a wealthy person, you know, wealthy people and you know, middle more, you know, I don't know, I want to say things rude, but why people are more wealthy than others is the best way to say it. You know, is wealthy people know how to make more money with less money. Like right there, I'm trying to take 1,000 off $100, even though I already have, you know, some M stashed. And you're like, well, how, why, what's the point, you know? And you say, this is how a wealthy person thinks. Yeah, I have 32 grand in the account. Yeah, I could have went all in right there and been up 10 grand. But I don't need to. I just need to add 1,000 to the 32. You know what I'm saying? You know how many people lose money? So, you know how many people make money and then do the wrong thing with it? I'll give you Drew Brees, quarterback, made millions. Then he got duped into buying fake diamonds. You know what I mean? Right? I don't know the exact specifics. And what I love about this is I remember something, I can ask Rock. I can say, tell me about how Drew Brees bought fake diamonds. But the point is, I think he got hit for like 6-7 mil. So like, say you were worth 6 mil of hard-earned money and you kept it good. You know, maybe you bought BTC on the low. Maybe you stashed it. You know, you put it in real estate. You kept it in things you couldn't lose. You didn't do any like get-rich-quick schemes and you had it. Someone else makes 12 mil. But then, you know, and they're the quarterback, whatever it is. And then they spend, you know, they get scammed for 6 mil. And they got the same amount of money as you. So my point is, what I realized is, people who keep money end up becoming the wealthiest, not the people that make money. It's the people that keep the money. I know people that made way more money than me. They can't keep it, man. They're making a few mil. They're losing a few mil. They're up and down all day long. My net worth continues to go up just like my channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't stop. And this is what I want to teach you. This is what I'm here for every single day. This is why I push. This is what we talk about here on the channel. Look, if I was a stock, man, and you put money in me, fine. At the beginning, we started slow, 2019, 2020, 2021, but right there, remember? This is when the show started going live every day, February of 21, February right there. 5 years ago, folks. Look at 5 years of my life. This is what it takes to make it. This is what it takes to grind, man. And look, we're kind of rounding out a little bit. We need a big surge in Bitcoin. We'll get the pump. But we're on a trajectory to 120,000, as you can see. Shout out to the subscribers. We appreciate you. We love you. And we thank you so much. Please jump on in and subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. A never-ending grind, man. You know, my dad used to say, we'd be sitting eating dinner, and my dad would say, you know, if the hot water heater goes, you see any of my buddies coming in, they're going to go buy me a hot water heater? And I'd look at him, I'd be like, nah. You say, you think someone's going to, you know, come here and fix the heater when it breaks in the middle of the winter? No. He said, we all have friends, man, but you got to stand on your own 2 feet. That's what my dad used to say to me at a young age, man. He made it real clear. He made it real crystal clear. Right? It's a nice move right there to the upside for Bitcoin. I can move the stop loss up a bit now, and now I can only lose even less than I had. You know, I lose less, like $50 now. What a monster candle to the upside. I can't wait to move that thing to break even. I mean, that's not easy to buy the bottom like that. That thing is plowing. Shout out to anyone did anybody jump on it with me? I mean, I didn't want you to, but on your own accord. You had the education. You know, you did it on your own. But did anybody jump on in there? You know. Yeah. And you were battling the algo every single day, because I for sure know they are surprising. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. How do you know that? It does make sense. 5 years every single day, and we're not at 1 million subscribers. Like, we've done more work than anybody. Like, and we're not. You know what I mean? We call crazy bottom trades like this in the middle. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy to scalp $200 off that trade. I'm now putting the stop loss to break even. I can't lose on that trade. That's too big of a candle. Could easily come back down, but so far so good for Bitcoin. I was in before you. I love it. I jumped in 5 minutes before you. I love it. I jumped in with a small trade a couple minutes before you did, and then I jumped in when you said it was highly risky. LOL, love you. I was into the 1 minute broken trend line, then I went in. Interesting. This is the best crypto channel. God bless you. Thank you. You're now teaching degeneracy. You're sharing truth and freedom. They don't like that. Digital money in gold, crypto, or stocks. They don't want people knowing this stuff. I just feel I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm super happy for it. You know, I don't stress. I believe God's given me everything that I deserve, man, and I'm exactly where I need to be, or where I'm supposed to be. I don't need to be anywhere. God has given me everything. So look, now we're looking for an inverted here on the 5 minute time frame to get back to the 200 here. This will take time. You can hold shift and kind of, get an estimate of how long this would take. An hour and 5 minutes to get back to good graces here. And then we'll be back at 72.4. Pretty close to yesterday's high. All right. 74,000, I believe we did tap, which was amazing. That's right. If you had an ML, there's been more vols coming at you. All right. Take your profit. It hasn't taken out the low on the 12-hour. We'll see, man. I'm not really stressed about it. It was more to see what I could get out of the bigger move. Yeah, I'm staying in now. That bounce off the 200 is an epic move, and I've got a pretty good stop loss now. And eventually, the 200 can cross. Trades up the highest it's ever been, 5%. Up 240. Shout out to anyone that nabbed that little bottom call there at 71,990. Was I in 9 at 79.33 for BTC? Yeah, I closed my short trade, which you longed. God bless you. I'm only added more. Could you please show your settings for the 200 moving average? It's just the 200 moving average. It's that simple. No settings needed. Yeah. If you really want to add it the right way, just go up here and go to CBC, 5MA, DRS. And you're going to get the 5 moving averages. The 21, the 50, the 80, the 100, and the 200. That's a big move for Bitcoin, folks. We just got a big push there to the upside on the fat candle. Woo-wee. You see the money hungriest brooking. Yep. I mean, bam, bam, bam. If that wasn't a nice little move here to the upside on a Scalpelino, up 325 beans. I mean, that pays for dinner and breakfast, baby. And it only took 10, 20, 15 minutes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 25 minutes, 5-minute candles. You know how many people make $300 in 25 minutes? And it's sad because it's becoming like, but I'm so grateful for every single thing that I have. And I can't lose any money on the trade. I actually pushed it in a little higher into, my stop loss is now above my entry. So see how far we are from the 21. We're pretty far on the 1 minute, but it looks like we could charge all the way up. Looks like it might dump pretty hard. $300 is pretty nice to take. Do I do it? 285 now. I'll get stopped out of break even or I'll stay in, man. I'll make it fun today. I'll just sit on that trade all day and see where it goes. Looks like it may push me out, but you never know. I got a pretty good pump. I took the gains. God bless you. I advise everybody to do whatever you want, but smart move would be to take the gains. Right? You got that life or luck. If I took that trade, it would have stopped me out. Joe, no, it would. See, you're saying that it would have, so it would have. You're creating a reality of that's what's going to happen because you said that's what's going to happen. See, every time I make a trade, I win, baby. See what I'm saying? I go with that mentality, man. And because even when I lose, I learn something that helps me win again. So every time I take a trade, I win. And I make that a real statement that I believe in. And you just got to keep repeating that to yourself, man. He said, I sold the bottom because I didn't want to get my account liquidated. How do you get out of a losing streak? Okay, so you've been in a losing streak. I've had 10 losses in a row. I've been discouraged. What happens then? Well, I tell myself I got to stop trading for a day or two. I got to go walk in nature. I got to think. And what I do is I really clear the account out. Sometimes I transfer all the money out so I can see that it's zero. I take a deep breath and then I tell myself what I'm going to start with. $4,000, $2,000. And usually, like if you say you had 18 grand and you lost 10 of it, right? So now you're down to 10,000 or 8,000. You might say, hey, I'm only allowed to use $4,000 and I got to turn it into $8,000 now. It's almost like now you have to be more disciplined about the money. And you're like, damn, that's sad. My positions are smaller. I can't make as big of trades now. And that's the penance you have to pay. Like that's kind of the penance you have to pay for losing. You're only allowed a certain. So now you have to start with $4,000 and see if you can turn it into 5. And you got to just do smaller trades. You really got to respect the 1%. You know, if you got $4,000, you can only trade $40 losses. So you know what I mean? You really got to stick to 1 to 2% of your portfolio per trade. And I suggest, you know, and if you keep losing, you got to get back to demo again. And you got to get back, and you got to find a system. Like everyone here kind of knows, if you watch me, you know how I trade. Like anyone here that's watched me for more than 2 years now, you kind of know how I trade. It's not a myth what I'm likely going to do. Right? Today was a little different for me. I don't always do that, but you know what I mean? I still use the 200 moving average. I'm almost always using the 200 or the 21 in some way, shape, or form on every one of my trades. Right? There's a reason for my trade. There's a reason for my stop. I put a stop loss on every one of my trades. I see a lot of these other traders, no stop loss. They think it's funny. It's a game or something. It's not a game to me. Like, because for them, when they don't use a stop loss, they could just delete. They're basically saying, I delete the trade when no one knows about it, but when I win, I show it to you. To me, that's what a delete. When I see no stop loss on a trade, it tells me they weren't going to show you the loss. They just aped in, and once they were up, they're like, cool, man. You know? Having a stop loss says, you know, I'm committing to the fact that if it doesn't go the way I plan, I'm going to lose. You know what I mean? And I'm going to lose only this amount. The key is to control what you can control. You know, I listen to Mike Douglas. He says, I can't believe traders. The one thing they can control is how much they can lose, and they don't even control that. He goes, it's mind-boggling. So we got a green candle in the 15-minute. The wick was strong. Kind of, you know, I don't like the wick there, but the second candle came up hard right after that. Little to no wick, though, at all, which is like a little sketchy to me. A no wick candle. Not even a tiny wick, like nothing. Just continues massively up. I'll take it, don't get me wrong, but it's a little sketchy. But what I like here is that this is kind of a bull flag, right? You got a bit of a Sammy Cup and Hattie to the upside. All the way to the upside, baby. Here we go. And, you know, we got a bit of a cup and handle here for Bitcoin. Can it get back all the way up here to about 72K? It could. I'm still long up 209. We'll see where it happens. I have an ocean view with mountains on the other side. I mean, that sounds like beautiful. Like, I can't believe you just said that. Like, that's like where you want to be. You can go swimming and you can go for a hike. I mean, that's amazing. Sounds like you live in Patagonia, man. Beautiful trade. Just discovered you. You only go live on the weekdays, or do you do weekend trades too? No, I go live Monday through Friday and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Just go here. This is my buddy. Just go here. Check it out. I watch a few YouTubers. Jason is one of them. But here, go to my live and check this out. And if you go to the banner here, look, weekdays 10 a.m. to 2, weekends 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's like 8 to 9 now, but you know, when we get a real crazy, you know, we start to go late. But we do 10 to 12 every single day, and then Saturday and Sunday nights. We also do Saturday mornings at around 8 a.m. and Sunday mornings around 8 a.m. Sometimes it's 10, it depends. You know, you caught the bottom of the day, I reckon. That would be so cool if we catch the bottom of the day. Like we bought the absolute bottom. San Diego's like that. Love that place, yeah. Sam watches Togi. How do you know I watch Togi? I do watch Togi. I do, man. I do. You know, he's putting effort into what he's doing. His game show was ridiculous. Did you see his game show? Like, it's like, I think he spent like $900,000 on that stuff, man. I love YouTube. Don't get, you know what I mean? I'm a streamer. I'm a crypto guy, but I'm a YouTuber. People forget I'm a YouTuber, man. Like, I work for YouTube, man. I love YouTube. Every single day of my life, I'm like, you know, I've dedicated my life to YouTube. Service now knocking on the door to that gap, right? Togi is funny. He keeps his savings in Pepe. You guys are funny, man. I didn't know his connection to crypto, really. He doesn't talk about it enough, so I can't figure it out. You know? Let's take a look if there's anything else that's still kind of pushing today. Bitway still on my radar there, up 40%. And, you know, it's like a layer on Bitcoin. So that's hot to me. I like that stuff, you know. Fabric, Lombard. I've always liked Lombard. It's called my name. I don't understand why, but Bard, man. Up 40% too. Mavia, Creator, Espresso. Enzo still keeps coming up a lot. And so. Coin market cap. Let's take a look in the last 24 hours. We have Lombard up 38%, 76 in a week. OKB, which I believe is the OKB token, if I'm correct, right? Isn't that? Like OK, yeah, OKB token rallies. Past ICE investments. Yeah, the OK Blockchain Foundation, OKX. Yeah, it's the OKX coin. They've been around a long time, man. KITE AI is still on the radar, up 18%. Pipid, Tuncoin, Monero, Chili's, Morpho, Aster. I like Aster. I like Solana. I did like Sui and Say, but they're like pains in the butts, but I do like them as projects. Like, they work fast. Like, I understand the technology, and it's good. I like Chainlink here. I still own a boatload of Chainlink. Never gave up on my Chainlink. Damn, starting to flip red here. This could easily dump in my face. Easily. I won't lose anything. It won't matter. But it'll turn into a nothing burger after all that. I expect stuff like that on a Thursday, honestly. Blows my mind how these kids have all this money lose so much. If we only had these opportunities back in the day. Oh, yeah, I know. I agree. Buying that 4-hour candle and stop loss at the wick is the same trade you have open. Agreed. Yeah, similar. Well, it looks like you'd be a little deeper than me, though. You might stay in the trade if I get taken out. So yes and no. There's the 21. That's where we should bounce. That's where you want to buy, right there. Right now. That's it. I perfected the entry. That's it, right there. Bing. You buy right there, stop below these 2 wicks, and this should just bling off the low stochastics. Higher low, cup and handle. Previous supporters resistance holding us there. Send it, baby. This should just start to send on a green candle right now. Based on my years of doing this, this should send on a green candle and start to move to the upside. There it goes. That's exactly what was supposed to happen. It's supposed to continue now. And it's supposed to head all the way at least to resistance at 71.6. And then we go from there. I charted GWEI. You're funny. The picture of Pepe was inspired by Da Vinci. You're funny, man. Yeah, the 12-hour low was right at the 1618 on the fib extension in the 4-hour 21. You're a 1 minute. No, don't call me that. I don't use that word. No. Dang, man. I didn't expect this red candle to come and eat us, though. That's got to wick back alive. Wick back out of here. Come on. Struggling to make a couple $100 today. Exactly. Is there a reason why you always close the whole trade and don't leave a bit open? Because I'm out when I'm done. Because I got a family and I got kids to do and things that get done. You know what I mean? And because that was the plan. Yeah, I never plan on doing partials. If I plan on a partial, I do it, but that wasn't the plan. So if that's not the plan, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just kind of not how I trade personally. If that makes any sense. I've taken partials at different times for different reasons. I'm an all or nothing guy, to be honest. I'm not a partial guy. Like, I don't do things halfway. I'm not saying partial people are people that do things halfway. That's rude, because a lot of people take partials. It's actually a smart way to trade. All right. Hopefully this 1 hour could turn into an inverse head and shoulders and we keep pumping. It's possible. It's close, but it's getting, you know. You don't know for sure, right? Yeah. Let's take a look at KITE. I want to see a few things here before I jump on out of here. And we do have screen share tonight. We will do screen share tonight at 8 p.m. tonight, folks. We'll be back to our regular scheduled screen share. And we'll talk about it. We'll break it down. I was looking for this to go sideways and to get in there. It dump skied, ripped back up. Did not, basically stop hunted anyone that thought they could get in. There's been a lot of stop hunts recently on altcoins. I'd be very careful trading them. Look, then it's gone, though. So sketchy, right? I mean, that's hard to kind of really see what it, to be really like. I see two things. I see a right shoulder and a pump, or just continuing to rip, though. This thing looks like it could do numbers, man, compared to the rest of the market. It's in a monster uptrend. The daily's on the 21-day moving average, so like it took its time to reset on the stochastics, reset on the RSI and the Stokes, and still maintain the daily 21, which is a very beautiful thing. Like, whenever I've seen that, I've gotten actually really excited. That's strong. It's very strong, right? This looks like the hottest coin in the game right now. I'm looking, look, shoulder, head, possible right shoulder. It almost looks like it made the right, I wouldn't ape into it, but if it can give us a little, if it can come back down and give me a little bit of space, it looks like it's worth trading. KITE AI. I'd put alerts on KITE. I really would. And there's not a lot to trade out there, so if something looks good, it looks real good. You know what I mean? Because I'm not touching anything unless it looks real good. 45 cents is the target. You and thank you. God bless you, man. Yeah. Big dub coming soon. Adding to my short from 73K. Hey, good luck to you. It does look like it may go lower. I don't know. 71,250. We'll see. He's adding to his short right now, folks. We'll bring that up tomorrow. See how that played out for you. Alerts is a must. Yep. GWEI looking good. Last time I put out GWEI, it ripped. And I remember you guys talking about GWEI. And we'll take a look at the super chats too. Wow. So I put out GWEI down here. Remember back there January 28th. And it pumped to the target. Then it had another resurgence. And ETH is cheaper than it's ever been. So people are using that GWEI. GWEI is the Satoshi of Ethereum, right? You're not the person that holds all the ETH. It's basically like, the smallest divisible part of Ethereum, right? So if you have a Satoshi for Bitcoin, a 0.000, 001 for, I think it is 8 spaces, right? But that's a GWEI. So how much GWEI do you have to spend for a transaction? We're a little late on GWEI, but look for it to retest. Or make a bit of a flag, touch the 21. If it can touch the 21, 200, the 21 in the 4 hour, above the 200, which it's doing, I'll put an alert on there for GWEI. I'll know when it's hot. Yeah, cup and handle in that coin. Yeah, definitely getting closer to the 50K before we shoot up. Okay. Aster retesting the bull flag. The smallest unit of XRP is funny. Yeah. A ZERP. We call it a ZERP, right? I think. Could we get our USD TTA, please? Airweave. Let's take a look. I mean, this thing got pounded like a lot of coins. You look at it on the 2-week chart. This thing got absolutely pounded. It's crazy to be in my sitting desk like all the other streamers. Except for my other guy. Me and one other guy. We the standers, man. I can't believe I don't stand up in the no mo. I mean, these coins are basically the lowest they've ever been. They're back to where they began in 2020. Which is insane. They've been on 5-year runs and they're back to where they were 5 years ago. Is every coin going to make it again? I honestly, I think a lot of coins are going to get forgotten. I really do. I don't think every coin's going to come back. And there's going to be new tech and a new narrative. There's a new narrative every time. I think DeFi AI is going to be huge. I think DeFi Sci, which is like, decentralized science coins, DeSci. And I think you're going to have like AI DeSci. And there's going to be just like, and there's going to be a narrative that none of us know about just yet. Right? Someone said Turbo dead. Yeah, so like I don't know if Airweave ever comes back. It was a good project. It had, it's So for me, I need to see it like at least break a higher low there at 414. Again, that'll make you some big bucks. Some people are going to have the guts to buy these on the low. They're going to buy them like right here, and it's going to be the perfect time. So I'm done being that speculative on something that just, you know what I mean? And again, yeah, it goes all the way up to 31, and you got yourself a possible over a 15x sitting here right now. You know, I'd put no more than, I don't know, 10 grand in there if I was thinking of doing that. It does look like it could be the bottom. I have to be honest. Like, you're not buying the top, but it's high risk. It's very high risk. That's all I got to say. And there's no guarantees every one of these coins is going to get back. And even if it goes on a run, to me, and it gets a bunch of liquidity and it goes on a run, maybe it gets to 2060. I don't know if it'll get all the way back to these highs. It's going to take a lot of money to get back up there. And this is when people actually cared about it, had a lot more marketing. Now it's one of many, and it's loose out there. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what's going on there. Morning, Sam. Crude oil wants to tell you something. We'll take a look. Crude oil is like it's going to pop. We'll look at that. Thank you. Something with a hair, great cut. Thank you. Yeah. Forming a strong bullish div on the 1 hour, Sammy. Wow, thank you. Look at this. I love this, man. Super chats, but no one, like, you guys didn't, like, bombard me. No one asked for a bunch of stuff. You guys just gave and said a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, the nicest community I've ever been a part of is this one. I swear, man. I had to get some more Sol. Had to. Okay. I think Sol is a great pickup right now. Personally. I think Sol is a great pickup right now, but that's just me. Right? No, I love Earweave. I think it's a great project. And if you believe in it, it's probably a great time to buy. It's too risky for me. I'm not there. I'm just not there anymore. And maybe I'll look back and think, dang, man, I should have been my old Sammy ways where I buy the bottoms of all these coins. But I have enough coins that I never got rid of. It's like I bought the bottom of them already, right? Sam is the best live trader on YouTube. Thanks, Sam. We love you. I don't know about the best live trader on YouTube. I mean, I'm all right. I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I mean, I do the best I can every single day, and I hope I make y'all happy and entertain you guys. That's the key. I hope I bring you joy every single day. I hope my trading group provides exactly what you pay for. I hope everyone enjoys it, is happy about it, and yeah, I just want to bring love and happiness to everyone that's around, right? Let's go over the past week. I mean, I gave you oil. We nailed it. That was on 3-3. So just 2 days ago, we hit oil for 133% gains. It was beautiful. I sold the top to the local top. We nailed Bitcoin from 67.9 all the way to 71. Even went a little more. I gave you scalps galore that hit the targets. This was the scalp. This was the bigger trade, 67.9 to 72. We sold the local high there at 72.46. It went to 74 in the middle of the night, right? We've had a run of runs, really, if you think about it. Give you a Bitcoin update at night. Last night at 9:46 and in the morning at 8:57, explaining what I see happening. I was looking for a bounce this morning. We got it, and then it just rejected and took a tumble. Wow, we're still in the long now. Everything kind of looking okay. We could get this inverted head and shoulder breakout to the upside. It's respecting the other right shoulder resistance level here. Support, see this? Boink, boink. That's an inverted head and shoulder for Sheezy. At least this should get up to the 200 moving average. Shout out to anyone that took the live trade. We also gave you a live trade today. On top of it all, like, you know what I mean? We also gave a live trade. So like, and we talked about life and love and my mom and dad dying. We connected as human beings. We didn't just talk about money and you know, I felt like it was a real amazing live stream. What do you think about cake right now? Says Wolf Tamer, Brian. You know, I've always liked cake. And if we have a good market, cake will come back. I got into cake at 60 cents, and I remember it rode to 44 cents. That was one of the greatest calls of my entire career. I was the cake man back in the day. One of my biggest videos to this day is cake. I think it got like, I don't have a lot of big views, so I think my biggest video was like 60, 70,000 views. It was cake. Wow, I mean, cake is all the way back to the beginnings, huh? I believe it's bottoming out. See, cake is something, as opposed to Airweave, I feel more comfortable about. I believe it's a good time to buy cake. And you can stake cake right now. And I still stake my cake. So, a little bit. I see it just kind of making a bowl and eventually getting out. But it's going to take its time. Yeah. Sam's humility shows the way. Thank you, man. I mean, I just want to be who my mom and dad wanted me to be, which is a humble, good guy, man. My mom was such a blessed person. Like, she never mentioned money. She never talked about Jesus. My mom wasn't a Jesus guru. I'm not putting anyone down that does. I just want to tell you where I came from. My mom just talked about being good to people, man. She wasn't a huge preacher of God. You know, towards the end, you know, she did say she prayed. But she loved this life, man. And she talked about getting the most out of this life every day. And my dad talked about praying to God every single. My dad, I saw him on his hands and knees every morning, every night. He'd go to the head of his bed and he would pray before he went to sleep. And whenever I had an issue, my dad would say, "Ye of little faith, you know, why don't you sit down on your hands and get on your knees and ask God for some help right now when you're struggling, you know?" So whenever I had a real problem, my dad said, "What are you, too big?" He basically said, "Is your ego too big that you can't bend down to God and ask for help?" You know what I mean? Like, basically, like, get off your high horse, get on your knees and ask for help. That's how my dad used to talk to me, man. But you do whatever you want, man. I love you all, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless each and every one of you for being here with me on this awesome Thursday. I love the viewership. I love the interaction. And I love everyone that came here today. I hope we had a wonderful time. I hope you had a good time. Just, I don't know, you learned something. And I hope you made some money if you were able to off the call. We're up $300 right now. That ain't bad. That pays the bills, man. Even for me, that adds up. So that's got to add up for everybody, too. Could be double topping. Let's be careful. I moved my stop to break even. I can't lose. I'm teaching you proper risk management as well. We'll go from there. Let me just show you, know, stop loss of break even. We're up 271. There we go. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much for jumping on in. I will see you tomorrow for a beautiful, bright, and amazing live stream. Oh, wrong button. We got to get to the... Oh, yeah, we were here. Oh, there's the old setup. The old setup, huh? What do you guys think of the new setup? Hey. It just got that flash to it. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for this opportunity to be here every day. I'm so blessed. 1,000 people still here at 12:06. I mean, it's mind-boggling to me that I live this life. I never want to lose it, man. So I always want to be appreciative of every single thing. Thank you to Google. Thank you to YouTube. Thank you to the algo. Thank you to everyone that makes this show possible. My whole team, Zeno, Lakochi, Sean, my wife, the editors, our new group that we brought on, and Vista, and everybody around, man. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. May God bless everybody here, and thank you so much. I'll be back in the group. I take about a half an hour, 40-minute break here, and then I'll be back in action. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the trading group, and I'll see you tomorrow. If you want to join the group, go to CryptoLifer.com. We make it very simple. CryptoLifer.com. If you want to trade where we trade, we have pinned comments right here. Weeks, BTCC, and MaxC, depending on where you live and what's applicable to your area. All right? I love you all. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow. God bless. And remember, I studied the secret to success. I figured it out what it was. I finally figured out how to become successful after years of failing. I know the secret to success. I use it every day. And you know what it is? Lean in. Check this out because, check this out. Because if everyone knew it, right, the whole world would be successful, Do you know what the secret to success is? It's getting started.